About. Okay, we should be live in a second here.
Okay.
Okay, it's live
So I
now.
sent you that. I think here. Right. And then I have to go to YouTube. I sent it to you in the group chat.
All right, cool. Beyonce didn't show up. Dang. Yeah, that's
Right?
right.
No show.
What a weird
Fake
rumor.
news,
Why
right?
was
There
why
was
did that
even like
happen?
pictures of her, it looked like there.
I
I
think
don't
people were
know.
saying there were reports that she was backstage or something like that. Like, I'm just kind of curious. Like, I would like to
Yeah.
see the anatomy of that rumor and how it happened and how fake it was, or I don't know.
Same. Absolute same. I don't know how to share that. So I'm trying. All right.
Oh yeah, and I was gonna go look. I was gonna look at the I've been out this evening. It's my daughter's
Oh,
basketball team had a parents versus players
oh
night, so that
wait,
was
you
fun.
squashed little girls?
I
You
definitely, yeah, I
parents
dunked
were
on some kids, dunked on some second graders. No, we just let them play and win. It's just, you know how it is. It's just like you're just like dribbling, like, oh, I lost the ball. And then they're like, yeah, let's take it down the court. Just like, oh, good steal.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, so I haven't really read the news. I saw a couple clips, but I guess yeah, Trump and as predicted, Trump and
Right,
RFK had a rally tonight. Did
right.
you guys talk about that much during the happy hour?
Um, I was kind of in and out of the happy hour, just uh started talking about it when you came on, and then you guys jumped into something else.
Gotcha.
Yeah, yeah, it's exciting. I was trying to watch a little bit of what House and Habit had to say about it, but I mean, she's been pushing for this since the beginning, so she's very excited
Really?
today. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not, well, yeah, we can get into it in just a second. We can get started, but did you already post the link?
I'm trying.
Okay.
All of a sudden, old and blind. Okay, did it.
Start recording also
Recording.
for Manny.
Hi, Manny.
He can't be here tonight. He's got a hot date.
Yeah.
I hope. Maybe more than one.
Yeah, that's the story I'm telling. He's going out with a bunch of
He's got
girls,
all kinds of hussies
ladies.
lined up.
Yeah.
I mean, ladies. I meant ladies
Yeah. Respect all women. Woof, woof.
for sure. Until you don't.
Unless they're
Is
named Kamala. I'm kidding.
that how you say it?
I don't know.
Yeah. I
I
think they've
probably
kind of
said it
given up
wrong,
on
knowing how to say
No,
it.
I think you did say it right. I think you
Kamala.
did say it right, but I think for
Her
so
mother's name
long,
is Shamala.
Shamala,
So
she's Kamala.
Shamala, Kamala.
Or a lot of people, I've kind of it was such a thing for a little bit that I've forgotten like which is the right way, which is the wrong way. So yeah, you got to like
Yeah.
there's no accents on any syllable.
Isn't that the way it is though? Like they say like that people have the pronouns or they're changing their names or whatever because they like to have like dominion over you, like the Kayla thing or whatever it is. You know what I mean? So maybe it's that.
Guess.
Kamala, like tomato, tomato. It's the same. We know what we're talking about. My name's Kwana. How many times do you think my name's been fucked up? Like I'm an expert on this subject. You
Like
know,
how would they
it's
say it though? Like I've never had my name messed up.
mine.
Mine's pretty
Sure.
straightforward, you know.
I've been called every, yeah.
Like they would say quaint.
It's always like they even
Yeah.
barely even get it out. And I'm just like, I'm here. Like if you're at the doctor's office, like I'm here. It's right here.
It's
Yeah.
really not that your name is really not that hard to say. I guess it just trips people up a little bit because they haven't said it.
Kawana, kwa. They
Yeah,
don't
everybody
know
knows
how
what
to,
qua. There's
not a
like
lot of
the
Q's.
QU,
They want to
QU,
pronounce it
everybody knows.
KW. Kawa, like putting a bunch of syllables in it too. That'll happen.
I,
Kawana. Like even
oh, I
Facebook
see.
has
Yeah,
it pronounced out weird.
like the
So
Kiwanis Club.
yeah.
Like Yeah, people start at, yeah, I can see that. I've never had a problem. Chris is pretty
Yeah.
straightforward and hard to mess up. No one's ever been like Chris,
Yeah.
Crease. How do you say this? Crease? So yeah, I've never really thought about it, but I would guess so you don't really care. Well, at some point you did care. I don't know. I probably would like people to say my name right if I'm
Oh, just
Kamala or Kamala or whatever.
I wanted my kids to not have that. And Kylie's name is Kylie.
Mhm.
And almost, she will tell you that almost every substitute teacher she's ever had has said, called her Kyle. They've started, like when they're reading, the attendance, they say Kyle. So she even has a little badge, Sheriff Kyle, that
Yeah,
we
you
got
screwed
for
that up.
her.
Yeah, you screwed that up pretty bad.
I did.
Screwed that up right out of the gate.
I
First
tried to make
first
it right.
day.
I was like, this name's so easy. Everyone
First
will.
day. First day
Yeah.
you messed up. First day on the paperwork.
Kyle.
That's funny.
Oh,
Well, I think my my mom's story, and she'll never listen to this, but if she did, she'd be upset because my mom, I guess my grandmother changed, went back and changed her name like a week or two later or something,
interesting.
and
Interesting.
changed the birth certificate. And back then, in like whatever the 40s, late 40s, it's like no, I'm sorry, early mid 40s. Like I guess you know that wasn't normal, so it threw some messed some things up. So she had to actually
Yeah.
go to our local congresswoman when we lived in Baltimore. When she was trying to get a passport when I was in high school, she had to go to our local congresswoman and have like get like a congresswoman to help her get this shit straightened out
Yeah.
with the government to like get her proper name and date of birth.
I'm gonna have to do that
So
to get you know how everybody has to have that ID to fly?
yeah.
I was married at such a young age and have like different last names. So like I went
Uh-oh.
from yeah, it's like, and so you would think like the death certificate, because my last name is my late husband's last name. So you would think that my name being on the death certificate and my name being Quana would be enough, but no, it's not. I have to go back
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, I might have to
My
find a
mom hates that.
congresswoman.
My mom hates that story. Like she really, and it's like, and she really like, I feel like, you know, she really is resented my grandmother for, and like is
Oh,
reminded of it every year.
right.
So, cause
Oh.
like
Did
she
she
would
like the
just,
other name better? Does she know what the other
I
name
don't think
was?
she knows, she doesn't know what it was.
Okay.
I don't think she cares about that part as much as she does the fact that her birth date got screwed up.
Oh,
And like, it's like, well, which was what is my birthday? What's my fucking birthday? Like, it's
has she
like
done
she
any
wasn't a
like,
she wasn't a refugee, from like a third world country. She was born in like a Baltimore city and should know her birthday. Like
yeah.
I don't know. But
Has she done any
anyway,
like research on it? Like maybe she was adopted.
I don't think so.
Some
No,
stuff is
everybody
secret
everybody
back in the
looked.
day.
Yeah, that's it's all. I mean, yeah, back then it's anything's possible.
Yeah.
I'll tell you another thing before we'll start. But like my best friend in elementary school, I found out later on when I was in high school that his the people that I thought were his parents, because I would go spend the night at his house.
Yeah.
The people that I thought were his parents were actually his grandparents. And the girl that I thought was his older sister was actually his mother.
Mother.
And he
Yeah.
didn't know either. He didn't know either.
Right.
Like it was just a known secret. And
Yeah.
we lived nearby. We went to the same elementary school. But yeah, it was just a known secret that that's kind of how it was. I guess he
Yeah.
would have had to find out at some point. Like you can't like even like yeah, like it's some wild stuff.
Yeah.
So
Family
yeah,
secrets,
anything
right?
is possible back then, but I guess
Totally.
there has to be like everybody looked like each other. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So there was never any rumors of that or anything. But anyway, but no, it was just yeah, I think it was just kind of like well, I'm going to go back and change something. I
Yeah.
just want to change the name. I didn't had no intention of changing the birth date, but I guess
Right.
somehow when it got refiled or something, it created
A new
a
date.
different piece of paper. I don't know. But yeah,
Yeah.
she couldn't get a passport when when I was in
There
high
was a
school.
there was a lady in the lady group that I'm in asking today. She said, "Has anyone ever changed their baby's name? Because my baby's 6 months old, and I feel like I'm not really feeling this name for her." It's like,
Dang. Yeah.
oh,
That's gotta
okay.
be weird. It's gotta be, yeah,
But
that's gotta be, yeah.
I follow another lady on Facebook. They changed their baby's name like 4 or 5 months in too. They changed it. They completely changed her name.
That's wild
So
because there's got to be a lot of pictures, a lot of gifts, a lot of cards with
paperwork.
that name on it. I mean, the government paperwork is one thing,
Right.
like
Yeah.
nobody looks at that, but
But
like
the blanket that your grandma made or
that, or like the little teddy bear that was
yeah,
customized,
yeah.
or the balloon, or I mean, I guess if
Pictures.
you change, then you'd have to like at least use the same initial, right? Like, so you wouldn't want to change it too much because maybe the balloon was just like a C.
Right, right, right.
You know.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Anyway, I better. Okay, sorry, Manny.
All right.
You can just
Sorry,
start the
Manny.
show anyway
Tangent.
now. You know.
Tangent.
But yeah. So good evening, Endless Ranters. Welcome back for episode 201 of your Endless Ranters podcast. We do what we want. We appreciate your support. My name's Chris. I'm one of your hosts for this evening. I'm joined by my other host. It is a Maxwell housewife living in a soggy mom's world, a crunchy mom's world.
I'm so glad
I'll
you
get it
remember
straightened
that.
out. I
I am
did.
such a Maxwell housewife. I'm offended by people who don't
Yeah,
understand that, what that
2024
life is
hashtag
about.
2024 Maxwell housewife.
How hard I ride for the
Yep.
Maxwell housewife lifestyle.
We're just it's just the two of us tonight because Manny's got hot dates,
That's right.
some hot dates and stuff.
That's right.
Uh, and Robbie is doing, Family Man. He's probably still at Disneyland or something. I don't know.
Oh, I heard he was sick. My
Oh
bad.
no. Well, that happens. You go to Disneyland and run all those foreigners. Just saying.
Man, that lady he saw at the park, she had some,
Oh yeah. So we think that Robbie. So everybody should be familiar with
yeah,
I guess it's a man. It's a dude. It's a Canadian teacher who has giant prosthetic breasts.
huge prosthetic breasts. Like,
Yeah, who caused a big stir up in Canada,
yeah,
uh, teaching kids. And I guess Robbie saw him or her
Disney.
Disney this week. Took a picture
How
because
confusing that must have been
because
too,
he's a
because it
journalist.
looks
He's a citizen journalist. So he got his phone out. I love that part. He's just, I got to take a picture of this bee.
he's like, got it.
I got to take a picture of this woman and send it to my friends. But that's what she does it. He or she does. See, I mean, I don't, I
Right?
mean, it's like if
See?
you're willing to wear giant prosthetic titties, then I'm going to call you a she. So you
Right?
win. You
Yeah.
win, teacher. But in fairness, that
Teacher.
person has been seen without it all.
Oh
And it's
yeah.
just it's a dude with like some
Oh,
kind of weird fetish, and
okay.
he's been seen like just going to the shopping, going to this grocery store, like just
Disneyland
as a
seems
dude.
like a place where they would need to crack down on that. Like it, why do you have to, if that's not, I don't know, if you're just doing it for the shock and the awe of it all.
I don't know. I
I
mean,
mean,
as if you're,
they're obscene. They are obscene. Like seeing them in real life from Robbie's phone, they're obscene, right?
I mean, but have you been to Disney recently? I mean,
I
or
haven't.
anywhere or Walmart? I mean, there's some pretty obscene looking people out there. You know what I'm
No, I
saying?
live in a
Like you go to Walmart on any given weekend and you might, in like a, rough area of town, you're going to see some obscene shapes of people.
Have you ever
Like, if
been
you know
on
what I'm
the
saying.
website people of Walmart
Oh
dot
yeah, I've
com?
seen that stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I've been to Walmarts where it's like kind of a little dodgy. I've been to those Walmarts where it's like they have the monitors playing, but they're not even in English. You know what I mean? It's like you're
Yeah.
smack dab in the middle of America in the
Yeah.
DFW area, and you go to a Walmart and like the music is Spanish,
Right.
like the monitors, the default language on all the monitors, and like the videos playing at the register are all in Spanish. Just looking around, there's like tons of security
Yeah.
and like insanely shaped people. So my point was like if you're Disney you got to be real careful because it's like you start having your like security guards like being like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
hold on.
hey lady with the giant boobs, like you need to step out of line to get a pat down. We think those are fake, and then they may not be.
Yeah,
You know what
you're
I mean?
right. Except for those were something.
It's like
Those
no,
were
this is just a lady from Ohio that like lived way too close to all the train spills and stuff, and just grew like 40-pound watermelons on her chest.
smuggling crock pots
And
in
now she's going to
her
Disney.
shirt.
Now she's going to Disney. You had a 19-year-old security guard pull her out of line, and now Disney's got to write this lady a check because it wasn't the teacher from Canada, Robbie. It's just some that's it, Robbie. You know, some lady with like with elephantitis of the chest is like trying to go to Disney with her family, and Robbie is taking pictures of her and mocking her online. Shameful, man. I can't believe we're even a part of this,
Your
too.
second hand too. Like
I
I shared
know.
that picture.
I know. I've been sending it to all my everybody I know. Now I feel now I feel a certain way about it.
Same. Oh, wow. All right. Well, next subject.
Oh. But good
Happy
job, Robbie.
Friday.
I mean, he's a citizen journalist, but you can't get them all right. No, I think it was. I'm just kidding. I think it really was that teacher
It's
because I
the
saw.
lowness of them, which
Yeah, they were
makes me
gigantic. Yeah,
understand
yeah,
they're so low. I think that any set of real jugs, you're going to want to try and lift them up a little
yeah,
bit, you
yeah.
know?
If that was I saw the profile. Very
Yeah.
disturbing. Very disturbing. If that was a real human with that condition, they would be in a buggy. You know what I mean? Like Disney would be like, here's a buggy, and you get to go to the front of the line, person. You know what I mean? Like
I
we
had to do
because
a buggy at
mostly
Disney
because
once. It's pretty humbling. It's a pretty
mostly
humbling
because we just
experience.
yeah, mostly because it's just bad for business to
Yeah. Yeah.
have you.
Standing
I
around
guess that
knocking a
was your
kid
main
right in the head. Like they're
yeah,
literally
that was your
knocking a
main
kid
point.
right in the
Yeah.
head, right?
Yeah, there's certain rides that you can't get on that this person can't get on, like the log flume,
She's
because it
standing
could
in
be
line. A little kid just, they back into your, navel or whatever, but this is like right in the,
yeah, it
yeah,
could definitely break a kid's neck, a small
yeah,
child's neck with those
yeah,
things. Yep, swing them the wrong way.
yeah.
Or like go on like one of those roller coasters that goes upside down and kill herself even. You know what I mean? So that I could see how they would want to
Or like,
not
how are
have
they
her in the
fitted
park.
on? Like, are they just kind of sitting inside of her shirt? Like, could they fly out if she was on like a propelled ride that had like some spring to
Good,
it?
good.
Who
Yep.
knows? Seems
Just thinking of
dangerous.
all the Dolly Parton jokes now.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Robbie
Oh,
should have made he should have made a citizen's arrest probably.
have you seen Dolly Parton?
No.
She's wearing some sort of like full prosthetic, like or like full something. Like maybe, when you are a certain age, I'll admit like your skin it gets a little different. I saw a video of her with
Oh, she's
Post
just wearing
Malone
like
the
a
other day, and
full.
she looks like she had on, first of all, the deepest V I've ever seen on her. And her chest was obviously out, but you could see that it wasn't real, that it was actual like plastic. It looked like
Oh yeah,
her.
like a full bodysuit or something like that.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah,
You
that's
can you
that's
can go look
just
on TikTok. It's
disturbing.
Post Malone and Dolly Parton. He met her and was like he hugged her, and then when they came apart, like it moves weird even. It was weird. I don't know what
Dolly
that's
Parton's an
about.
interesting woman.
Right?
What's up? What right? Like
What's up with
I
that?
know she's famous, but has anybody really dug into her? Like, so I'll just tell you right now, as an American at 52 years old, I don't know, has she ever been married? Like, does she have kids or anything
I
like
think
that?
she is married. I don't know if she has kids. No, she has endometriosis, so I don't think that she does have kids.
Oh, okay, okay.
Um, I think she is married though. I think she is married
Mm.
though. Yeah.
Yeah, she does have
Yeah.
a spouse named Carl Dean
Okay.
of the Jimmy Dean Deans.
Shut
I'm
up.
just no, I'm just I don't know. I'm sure
Okay.
there's other that was
I was
made
like,
up.
what? Love that for her.
I guess she does. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I really
Yeah.
I don't know. She's
Private.
kind of
Normally private, right?
well, she's one of these characters that I guess she is private, and then no one's really tried to or she's open enough to where no one tries to dig any deeper. You know what I mean? Like she'll do a Barbara Walters interview every 10 years and
Right.
kind
I
of
miss her.
tell people enough that they don't really dig into her, or it's kind of not, maybe there's nothing to dig into.
Right. I don't know. She did that very recently. She did a photo shoot that had like a lot of the weird symbolism that a lot of the famous people are
Oh, the
having now.
the devil stuff.
So I was like, not Dolly too, but then she shows up with that brand new skin suit. It's like, why is she doing that? Why is she wearing that? Why does she look like she's an alien now? It's weird.
It's kind of like a touch-up suit, you know what I mean? To where it's like
Weird.
just,
It's
yeah, I
very,
guess she's a strange character too because it's she's known for the gigantic chest, of course. You know,
and
I guess
she's known
that's
for it
just a,
being fake, that
can't
she
believe I didn't
wanted
do a
to have it.
segue from Robbie's Disneyland adventure with the teacher to Dolly Parton, but I guess it's natural that we just started talking about her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but but not but not really a sex symbol, is
Right.
she?
More,
Like,
I think for men maybe, but for
not really.
women, they love her. Like, remember Gina Grad was like obsessed with Dolly Parton.
Yeah,
I
but
think a
for
lot of women
men,
are.
like, do men find her? Like, I don't find her sexy. Like, I
Right.
guess when I when I
She's
was
too old for you,
but even
right?
when I was a kid, it was more about she just has gigantic boobs, but
I think the big
it
boobs and the
wasn't
big
in a
hair have made her like a caricature. Like she's more of
yeah.
like Mickey Mouse. Like she having Dollywood is perfect. Like she is like a
Mhm.
character. She's not a real person, you know?
Yeah, I don't know if it's like maybe I'm the only guy, hopefully not, but it's like, yeah, I just never really like, even though the focus was on her breasts,
Yeah.
like she didn't really, and she would wear like revealing outfits and all that stuff. It's not like she would try to hide and like,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know, just didn't really see her as that. Maybe I was
Yeah.
too young at that point. She was doing duets with Kenny Rogers.
I mean, she is beautiful. She is a beautiful woman. I
Yeah.
mean, she's attractive, but I mean, it's
Yeah.
just she's
That
like it's
too.
exaggerated. It's very exaggerated. And she's tiny and she's all the things, you know?
I mean, I'm not saying like, not that we need to like sexualize every like beautiful actress or celebrity, but it's like just not really, never really thought of. I don't know if she's thought
Yeah.
of in that way, really.
I mean, I
And
think
she's
she
always been
was at one
wholesome
point.
too.
A little
Okay,
bit,
maybe in
yeah.
the 70s.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know though. I honestly I don't know. I can't remember if my dad was like that was I can't remember. So
That's
I
kind of,
mean, I
yeah. So
guess
she's like an
maybe
interesting character in that way that, yeah, she's kind of transcends a lot of different,
yeah.
I guess, genres or whatever. She's
Oh
done
yeah, and then
movies, music.
she's in my daughter's generation too because she's Miley Cyrus's godmother. So she was on Hannah Montana all the time back in the Disney
Oh, was
days.
she? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, she's iconic. I mean, every bit as
Yeah,
much
that's
as
good.
like Mickey Mouse, honestly, if you think
Yeah,
about
I think
it.
those types of celebrities that reach that status but are almost like not human almost. I don't know. Like
Yeah. No, I
they're
understand what
not,
you're saying.
yeah.
For sure. For sure.
Anyway.
Anyways, let me pull up this list, buddy.
So what I was saying, we were talking about like the whole I think before we started the yeah, so Trump or so RFK Jr. dropped out and endorsed Trump.
Yeah. And took his name off the ballot in like states that it would battleground states, I guess. So that there'll be no confusion of
Okay. So
yeah.
not, yeah, that was a weird, like they didn't take him off every state, but
Yeah. The battleground
the states
states.
that are important.
Well, probably because he has to petition and hire attorneys. I mean, they've spent so much money if you think about it to be in the
Yeah.
position that they're in. So
Yeah, so I'm not a big fan of RFK
I
Jr.
do
I
know
mean,
that.
maybe everybody's right. Maybe he's just a great guy at heart and all that, blah blah
Yeah,
blah. But it's like 10 years ago, he was, wanting to, have a 200% tax on guns, or, he was full of real wild ideas about
right.
people not
Oh,
having guns, or if you were going to have a gun, you could have like a double-barreled shotgun, for
right,
pheasant hunting,
right.
and he was kind of that ilk.
That's
which
weird
is
because
like,
he's like a hunter. Like there's all this stuff that's coming out about him hunting and
sure.
killing and it's just
Well,
weird that
he's
that would be his like stance on I don't know, so I'm not defending in any way. I'm just saying
I
that
don't
it's
think
just
people
weird.
like him. I don't think people like him think about making rules for everyone. Like I think
Oh,
he's thinking about making rules for everyone else because
gotcha.
of course, whatever licensing or whatever taxes or whatever expense or fee or yeah, government license you would have to attain to own guns or whatever guns you want. Of course, he would be able to get those things.
Oh,
Of
right.
course, you know,
Gotcha.
but the average guy that's a plumber that wants to buy an AR-15 or whatever is going to have to pay a lot more
That's
or wait a lot
interesting
longer.
because I
You know,
mean,
that was his no, that was all RFK. Like, I've said it before, like he was, I mean, since COVID happened, it's different, but pre-COVID RFK Jr. was more of a leftist than Obama, like
okay.
further left than Obama.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
in my
Well, I
opinion.
think he's even saying that. I think he's saying that the Democratic Party has lost the minds. Like it's too far. So maybe he agrees with that with himself too.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
mean,
everybody
you're gonna have
changes,
to.
or people become more pragmatic, and he's like, "Look, I realize I'm not
Right.
going to get all my leftist crazy
Yeah.
ideas. I have to
Let me
give
just
up on some, but
exactly.
I'll give up on all those crazy ideas about like taxing your I mean,
Yeah.
whatever truck you drive. He 10 years ago he wanted to take it away,
Yeah.
guaranteed.
No rebels. No
10 years
rebels out
ago, yeah,
there.
there's no, or no, or not take no, not take them away. Just tax it at 400% or some,
Sure.
or
Sure.
make you pay some kind of crazy excise tax, or to have a truck that has less than 40 miles per gallon or something.
It's
So,
crazy. Yeah.
but at the
But
same
meanwhile, our
time,
power grid's falling apart and everybody has to have an electric vehicle. Just silly. It's crazy. It's
yeah,
so unreal.
yeah.
Make it make
Um,
sense.
at the same time, it's kind of interesting that like um, maybe it's all just a scam, or they say politics makes whatever something bedfellows like, but like Trump, who's supposed to be some kind of right wing loon, dictator, authoritarian, right winger,
Yeah.
ultra conservative, like what? Partnering up,
They both
bringing,
wanted to be Democrats, but the Democratic Party
yeah,
wouldn't have either one of them. So like
yeah. It kind of like
Trump went
if
Republican, Bobby went independent, and it's like they're
yeah.
both have democratic thoughts. Who's the gay guy that does the he's been on Corolla a lot. He's the one who makes Corolla steaks. He said that he was at Mar-a-Lago and Trump was like
Oh, Dave
enamored by
Rubin.
how handsome his husband is and how he's not against gays. Like it's just silly. Like all of the stories that have been made up about Trump are silly. Like they're silly because there's
That's yeah. I
footage
think
of
I agree.
him
Yeah.
being decent and caring about gay people and being it's just silly. It's all lies.
It's very fascinating. It's hard for people to see now, but
Yeah,
I hope people can see it later on like that. Yeah, this guy was very popular. And then
beloved.
it all switched on that day
He
when he
came down
decided
the
to run for president.
escalator. Yeah.
And he said some remarks about just
Grabbing
that
him by the pussy.
some of the illegal immigrants that were coming here were not the best, like,
Oh, I thought it was
and they
grabbing
were
by the pussy that set everybody off.
oh, that was later on.
Oh,
That was actually somewhat of an October surprise, I think.
okay.
That actually maybe not October 2016, but that actually happened pretty close to the election and didn't really work.
Whoa, that just set shit off.
I remember, I don't know that it really
Didn't it set
I
off
think
the
but
Me Too thing though? Like, isn't that what set off kind of something spiraled off of that,
well,
right? Or no?
maybe maybe I don't know if it was specifically that, but I think Donald Trump set off the Me Too movement for sure, and like people, like people that really were upset that Trump lost. Like if Hillary won, I always say that if Hillary won, then Harvey Weinstein is still raising money for Democrats.
Oh,
Harvey Weinstein is still abusing
No pussy
starlets in his
hats for
hotel
sure.
room.
There would be no pussy
Yeah, there's no
hats.
pussy hat march in DC with Madonna
No.
and Ashley Judd, calling for people to be killed and,
Yeah.
blowing up the White House and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, that it's kind of weird how those things happen. Like something very
Yeah.
disturbing to like, or something big happens, but then all of a sudden, like all these men that have been abusing women for, decades,
Yeah.
like that all happened. So yeah, I don't, it was definitely the Trump movement, but I don't know. I guess maybe it was the grab him by the pussy thing. Yeah. But that
Insane.
happened kind of late. But I think when that happened in 2016, it had pretty much, people had already made up their mind. Like that was
Yeah.
kind of baked in. Like people that were going to vote for Trump were just like, oh yeah, that does,
Yeah.
that's not surprising. That's kind of funny. Or yeah, like wish that didn't happen, but not
Right.
really a big
Yeah.
deal. And the people that were not going to vote for Trump, they were already weren't going to vote for him anyway.
Right.
So it just, validated them, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah, but it also shows like, yeah, it just shows that he's willing to talk to people that are not right wingers. Like RFK Jr. is a leftist.
yeah.
Like you would
Well,
think if it wasn't for the hatred of Donald Trump, people would be like, wow, that's pretty amazing. Again, like before Donald Trump, like say 10 years ago, 15 years ago, people were thinking, wouldn't it be amazing if there was like a wealthy, independent American who
yeah.
was really popular and trusted as not like,
That's basically what this
not to be like a
is.
Russian or what,
Yeah.
and then they could be the president, and because they're so popular, they wouldn't really have to do whatever their party says. They could pick like, you know,
Fixing this or fixing that.
yeah, like this person would not be beholden like Donald Trump. They wouldn't be
Yeah.
taking money from Comcast and all the big
Yeah.
corporations and lawyers, and like the person be independently wealthy, so they wouldn't be beholden to donors. They wouldn't be beholden to their party.
Right.
They could make independent choices and they could choose
Kennedy too.
independent candidate.
Yeah.
And yeah, they could affiliate themselves with someone like RFK Jr. and take in all his ideas and put them in the cabinet.
Yeah.
And then we got that
Yep.
independent, and there was like, and the establishment was just like, nope, no, we cannot have this at all. We
Yeah.
got to just we got to destroy all these people.
Oh, it's going to be interesting what happens in the next 48 hours because honestly, they're probably like, holy crap. Because MAGA is just like, welcome home, Bobby. Like, we love you. Come on in. Like, they're open arms for him.
He better have security because
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Right.
because he's not well liked in the alphabet
Did,
agency community.
even in
So
his own house, he's not well liked. Did you hear that? Poor guy. His
what?
wife, it's not a good night for his house. His wife
Oh,
is a never Trumper.
I forgot about that. That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny. I guess we're gonna find out whether or not she really believes in his causes and his
Yeah.
his goals to improve,
Mhm.
make America healthy again.
Yeah.
Interesting. That'll be interesting if that's more if her hatred of Donald Trump is more important than you know supporting her husband.
Well, if they do
It would,
fix the
and what
food,
I'm thinking at this point, like these are shared values they have, right?
sure.
Like I
Sure.
would guess that she's not like fuck that healthy bullshit.
Yeah,
You know,
I
I
would
want I
imagine not.
I would think that they
Fuck
share
those
these
kids.
value. Yeah, she's probably like, I want more food additives, but my husband's a nut.
Red dye number 4, put him in my throat, or 40,
So yeah,
whatever it is.
I gotta
7.
think that I gotta think that for their relationship, they're really like, together on these beliefs and these values.
Yeah.
So
Well, his voice is a vaccine injury. So he
that's
is
right. Yeah.
vaccine injured.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for him to know or speak about it, I feel like it's probably like the best person to speak about stuff like that. So, and if, I don't know,
I
if
feel
you
like
think
their
that your
whole,
husband can make a difference, and he did say, I hope Donald Trump keeps his word and puts, lets him have some role. And I think, I mean, everybody wishes for that he will keep his word. If he says he's going to do it, I would hope that that
yeah.
would be a good first step for people to
I hope
see.
so. I hope so. I could also see. him and Trump having a falling out after like 6 months. You know what I mean? Because that's just kind of
Sure.
how Trump can operate like that. He's had a
Sure.
lot of those types of in his political career, maybe not in business
Right.
as much, because he
Right.
seems to have like a loyal surrounding in his businesses, but in his political career, he's had a lot of like
But if
short-term best friends, you know
I
what I
mean,
mean?
if they
Like,
start doing a bunch of good shit for kids and health, how are you going to talk shit about Donald Trump? Like, if it's so in your face blatantly that autism numbers go down, child obesity goes down, like, if it's so fucking obvious, how are you going to be able to say anything? It's going to be like,
well,
shut the fuck up. And then how perfect for Bobby to run, 4 more years after Trump. Or I don't know. Anyways, whatever. I just think that if they can
mm,
fix the problem that he's saying that he can fix, if they make the food better, that the sickness in our country will go down. Let's see.
I think at bare minimum would be good to have 4 years of him talking about it and
For
raising the
sure.
awareness of it and talking about food and healthier food and more
Our
pure food,
water and plastics in
that
the
kind of
water.
thing.
Yeah.
Do I think they'll be able to actually like change much? I don't know,
Yeah. Well,
but they could set the stage for it by talking about it a lot for 4 years. But they're going to come after them with everything, right? So,
oh my
like,
goodness.
I would
Horrifying.
guess that if someone is like, well, you never know. So I would think that Monsanto would be like, whoa, this guy's going to mess with our school lunch program. Like,
Yeah. And the
we got to like,
Department of Defense is going to mess with this.
or maybe it's almost like when people sued McDonald's, like that's some bullshit. Like people sued McDonald's for making them fat. That's, obviously that's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
However, however, before that happened, there was no salad wraps from Walmart. I mean, from McDonald's.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it was a
Some
bogus
change
lawsuit,
happened.
but it did make some change happen because all of a
Yeah.
sudden McDonald's was just like, well, it's a bullshit lawsuit. We're going to win it. And I think they did win it, but they were like, we should probably start making some salad wraps
Yeah.
to
Not
you know what I
salad.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
or whatever the hell, we should start making something like a chicken Caesar wrap so that to get these people off our case.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like, maybe all the bitching and moaning about, Monsanto and food purity and all that, maybe that gets those companies thinking, all
Yeah.
right, we need to like knock it off with the goddamn, additives just to get these people get this guy off our back.
Yeah. Well,
And sometimes that's how things happen. That's how things work. It's not because of some good. It's just like,
yeah.
oh, we're tired of hearing about it, so we're gonna make some Caesar salad wraps.
All they're doing now is like changing the name. The FDA has approved like 32 different names for sugar. So if you're diabetic and you're looking at a sugar-free product and there's some
Yeah.
word on there that you don't know what it is, it's very likely that it's sugar. Like,
Maybe, maybe RFK
oh,
Jr. talking about that and like
yeah.
making it somewhat common knowledge that the sugar
Yeah.
scam or
Yeah.
this scam or
It's not
whatever
just your
foods
crunchy
like,
mom coming in from
yeah, like
Sacramento.
maybe if they're effective, because they're not going to change everything, but maybe if they're effective, they just raise awareness of,
Yeah.
10% or something.
Yep.
And then companies start feeling the pressure, like popular pressure to just be RFKJ approved, whatever,
Yeah.
um, so
Fingers
it'd be
crossed.
good.
I mean, y'all are still raising kids. So, I mean, it's like hope that this happens so that they have a chance without all these food problems. Like, it's, oh,
I mean, also, it's just, I feel like current Americans, it may be too late. Because again, we're talking about like
yeah.
it took decades for them to affect our food the way they have. It's going to take a
Yeah.
long time to reverse that
Yeah.
if it happens.
We
So it's
still have the
like,
food pyramid. It's still all fucked up. Like, they're
yeah,
still, that's still how they teach nutrition.
it's going to be really inconvenient for Americans to eat like really healthy, pure food for a
Yeah.
long time. For a long time.
Well, it's like they don't even know what that is in a lot of households. It's not even like they're not,
Yeah, it's just commercials tell you like there's smiling people on TV eating this food. So
yeah. So they don't
they look
know that, like,
healthy.
oh, you can make sauce. That's so easy to make sauce without a jar, or like people don't understand. It's just weird. Like traditions were passed down on how to make food. That's why, some cultures are way healthier than others, you
I
know?
think if everybody would just have you ever heard of that Whole 30 diet? Whole 30, it's
I
like
mean, I've heard
kind of
it, but
like,
I don't know what it is.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like basically like a super keto for 30 days.
Okay.
And you just basically don't you go cold turkey on sugars, right? Like real cold
Yeah.
turkey, like real um well, I guess keto is the same thing, but it's designed more like you do this and you do it for 30 days. That's it. And you don't do it permanently. But
It like
for
reset
me,
something, right? Is
it
that,
does it or
yeah.
it's like keto or keto, whatever. I don't know all the
Ketosis.
science. I don't
Yeah.
know all the
Yeah.
science behind it, um, but it just get that 30 days has you looking at labels,
Yeah.
right? Has you looking for tomato sauce. You're just like, oh,
Yeah.
I want some tomato. And you're just like, holy shit, fucking Kroger store puts like half a cup of just pure white sugar in their tomato sauce. Like it's crazy
Yeah.
when you start looking at, and that's just part. I think that's part of the design of that diet, is
Sure.
to get you looking at those things and looking at all the added sugar. That's like it's yeah, that's just unnecessary. It's
Yeah.
unnecessary, but it makes the product, it makes that tomato sauce like 10% tastier,
Right.
to where you buy it versus like not, it doesn't taste like tomatoes as much.
Well, it's because
Tastes
everybody's so
like
addicted
sweet
to
tomatoes.
sugar.
Yeah.
Everybody's so addicted to sugar. Like it just hits just
Well,
right. Like that's the flavor.
yeah.
That's what we're
And
craving.
well, and it's in like every tomato sauce there is,
Yeah.
whether it's
Yeah.
like the people like making your pizza, or it's like in
Oh
every,
yeah.
so that's just like
It's
what
in your
tomato sauce
grandma's
tastes
too.
like.
You put a little palm full of sugar in it for sure.
Yeah, or it's like it's in every tomato sauce. So it's like, well,
Yep.
that's just what tomato sauce tastes like, right?
Sure.
But it's like
Yeah.
you can have tomato. There's brands of tomato sauce that don't have any added sugar and they taste
Delicious.
great and the
Yeah.
same.
Yep.
But it's probably a little bit harder to make a product of that quality with that consistency without just dump some sugar in there. Like I'm guessing the sugar kind of cures
A
the
lot of the
problem if it
other
wasn't a great
problems.
if it wasn't a great crop that year. It's
Yeah.
like
If there wasn't a
no
lot of,
problem.
yeah.
We can make it taste exactly like last year's tomato sauce by putting sugar in it.
Yeah.
So um anyway,
Yeah.
that's a but you really can't make people do stuff. But maybe RFK, talking about it, making people more aware
For sure.
of
I
the
mean,
connection. Like there's a reason why health insurance is, thousands of dollars, like tens of 10, 15,000, $20,000 a year for like a family
yeah.
to have everybody covered. It's because like for the last 20 years or so, like we've been all eating a bunch of shit.
Well,
So it's like our
also,
hospital, we need all these specialists in every strip mall. We need a specialist for every freaking ailment. And we need, dozens of MRIs everywhere because we're all falling apart.
yeah.
And we need bigger hospitals with more technology to keep us alive because we're all eating terrible stuff and falling apart.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. People
If you
could
build
start
it, they
putting
will
that,
come,
yeah,
right?
like
Type
people
theory,
lived a
though,
long
also.
time without having health insurance. Just,
That's my
it
point.
just,
Like with Obamacare, if you build it, they will come. Like everybody has to have it. So now everybody has it. Everybody's there. Everybody's needs it. But during COVID, which I haven't been to the doctor since it's been a long time, but my husband has a condition that he has to go and get his care or whatever. But during COVID, I would go and pick up his medicine. And I mean, that business was thriving. Like the line for meds it's always out the door. It's
yeah.
always out the door. Always. It's like, do you people not see what's happening here? Just crazy. They have us
Well, it's
addicted
like, I
to
think
that.
it's pretty it's pretty well documented, but it's like it didn't have the impact it should have. But like after Obamacare passed, all the stock prices and the value of all the big American insurance companies just went through the roof.
Yeah.
It's like it was the best thing that ever happened to them.
Yes. Follow
And
the
it's
money.
like, and they knew it was, and it was like, it's not like, oh, well, it's just a nice benefit of improving our society. It was like, oh no, they knew that was coming. That was all about that.
And with the COVID, the vaccine manufacturers stock went through the roof. Like it's all about money. It's just money, 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 money. So
Yep.
it's funny that that was Donald Trump's song on The Apprentice. And this is the problem, right? This is the fucking problem.
I mean,
And
there's
so
ways that, I mean, there's kind of, I mean, if we want to be fair, like Donald Trump is part of the problem because he's, he's all about being rich and gold stuff and everything's gold. And uh, people look up to that. Like some people really look up to that part.
I think if
And
you
they're just
earn
like, well, I got to
money,
have all that stuff.
whose
It's like,
fault, whose place is it to count someone else's money? I mean, the American dream is that anyone can have that, right? Like I know
of
people that
course,
are
yeah, yeah.
regular people that go and like I'm in the MLM field. I see these people, just regular people, go and they I have a friend who's like they make so much money. Like you can't believe the money that people make for just
Yeah, I'm not
selling
really
collagen.
judging it. I think it's all fair, and it's like we live in a free country. Very important that we live in a free country where people are free to like not make a lot of money, and they're free to make an insane amount of money and be really
Yes.
and live a lifestyle of excess.
Gold toilets.
Yeah, I think it's very important that we live in a society, a country where that people have the freedom to do that. At the same time,
Yeah,
as a society, it's probably not great,
right.
that people live and like live that lifestyle and like advertise it. And because then, other people are just like, I gotta have that. Because some people are just like, well, I don't want to build a real estate empire to have those things. I want to take shortcuts to have those things. And
That,
it's just kind of, but it's like, that's just the human condition. So,
yeah, yeah,
but like, so Donald Trump is not like a, you know, real estate guy and salt of the earth guy. I mean, he likes his fancy stuff, and
yeah.
so
Well,
it's
that used to be celebrated. We had lifestyles of the rich and famous. We had MTV Cribs. Like that used to be celebrated. We used to look at those people and think, that's like more manifesting. Like that's for me.
all right.
That's right.
If not, if not, yeah, I think it's fair to say celebrated in many ways.
I mean,
If
Oprah's so
not, so
rich. No one hates her for being the richest woman in the world. You know what I mean? Like,
maybe it's like if it's
okay.
not if it's not celebrate like if it maybe it wasn't celebrated per se, but like nowadays it surely wasn't resented. You know what I mean? To
Right.
the level there was kind of like a quiet
Well, Corolla
uh
talks about that, Leo DiCaprio and his Prius, right?
yeah. Oh, what do you mean?
Like
That
celebrities
they're
wanting to play like they don't have, like they play it down like they're not wealthy, though to get
yeah,
the one of
yeah.
us.
I wonder if like some of those guys they're so rich it's just like I could have like the latest like,
Right.
McLaren or Ferrari, but it's like they're already done with that too. Because Leo
Right.
DiCaprio probably like he probably leased those when he was
Right.
22, and now he's
Sure.
just like I've kind of already done that, and
Right.
I'm got a bad back, and they don't really have a comfortable ride. I mean, the
Low to the
Prius is just like
ground.
I gotta
Very
yeah,
sensible.
they got really terrible blind spots, and the Prius is really good side view mirrors.
Yeah. No one will know it's me. Cute.
But yeah, so with the wrapping up the election stuff, it's like it's going to be a I was saying it's going to be like the fourth quarter of an NBA Finals game
Sure.
where things are really close. Neither team
Yeah.
is going to pull way out in front,
Yeah.
and maybe like the momentum shifts, like week by week.
Yeah.
Going into
Last week.
November is really what matters.
Yeah. Like a
Because so
horse
far,
race.
it's been wild this year because there's so much, it's shifting back and forth so much. I mean, I guess with Joe Biden was a steady decline and Trump was kind of building up. But like there was the cases against Trump,
Yep.
which kind of, even though he was, people were unhappy with Biden and Trump was getting good numbers, there were all these cases hanging over him that was like, oof, what's going to happen? But it's like all that stuff went away. And
Right.
then he was in the ascendancy. And then Joe Biden was looking worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
Then they had the debate, and Joe Biden looked terrible. Then the assassination attempt, or was that? Yeah, that was after the debate.
Yeah.
Um, and then all of a sudden, like on like a what was it, like a Saturday afternoon, or Saturday morning, Biden drops out, Kamala takes up, and it's like bam, everything just completely flipped
Yep.
for like a month, and they're on the ascendancy, and then all of a sudden they had their thing, and it seems to like, I guess the betting odds flipped this week.
Wasn't there a Kamala crash in the middle of all that? Like, didn't the stock market do some weird
Something,
shit?
um, there
Like right
was a
after she went through, like, wasn't there also some
there was a
weirdness?
crash. Definitely would be used against her a little bit, but I think that was really more of actually, I think that was more of like the big money investors, like Warren Buffett. Those guys um, knew that this jobs report correction was coming,
Right. Okay.
so they did their thing a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
So that's my opinion. Because I
Yeah.
think like
It's all going
when
so
when like some
fast.
like when there's like a big like official federal report about jobs and like job corrections
Right.
that's really bad, right? That comes out on CNBC, officially released this week, I guess. Um,
Right.
the the real Wall Street community, I think, and I'm not an expert, like they already know about this stuff. Like it's kind of ridiculous to think that they didn't know that there was some massive jobs correction coming. Like
Right.
you're telling me that some peon that works at the Federal Bureau of Labor and Statistics, that Warren Buffett doesn't know somebody that's gonna, like,
Right.
there, yeah, that's a lot of lips to keep shut. That there's a massive statistical correction
Yeah.
coming.
They got the
So
numbers wrong. Sorry, boss.
I feel like they probably knew about that a month
Sure.
ago, or
Okay.
because I think Warren Buffett was like selling a bunch of things, and then of course there's a crash, and then
Right.
of course he's buying stuff again. So
Yeah. Well, there we
because
go.
they,
Mhm.
and then like for like the regular investor, by the time that news becomes solid,
Yeah.
like when the official report comes out that says, yes, there's a correction and then there's 818,000 less jobs created in the last year, like all the big money, like all they already knew about that and it's already kind of factored into everything. So
Right.
I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Crazy
Um,
time to be
but
alive, Betty.
but I think this week the betting, so come like the betting odds on some of these websites had Kamala up, but sometime during the Democrat convention, Trump got back in the lead.
Okay.
So different
Was
theories
it the
about that.
whispers of the RFK thing? Because that started like 3 days ago.
Maybe that, maybe it was like the DNC is on the ascendancy and they're really gonna like knock it out of the park at their convention, and then the convention's kind of been like kind of,
Yeah.
I don't know, like I'm not really watching it, but like has kind of fallen a little flat, like
Right.
they did like um yeah, just kind of it's it seemed fake to a lot of people. I think even like CNN people, MSN, like it's been kind of
Just
fake.
it's just
Um, she's really, yeah, she's
how
really
are they
fake.
like asking for how do they act excited about she's there? Let's do it. Let's do all the things. Let's do it right now. Let's go.
I
Like
think
how
they did. I think that the Democrat Party and they did the best job they could, like maximizing the excitement, but it only hit like a 7.
right.
So I think that's what the betting markets
Yeah.
figured out mid convention, is that if
Could
this
be
is the
on.
best they've got, like this is not that great, and this is not going to like put them out in some big lead.
Right.
and then maybe the RFK thing, and then like yeah, the day after Kamala makes her acceptance speech, which I don't think a lot of people watched, and I don't think like
Right.
I just kind of judge by the reaction, and there's not really a lot of reaction about the content. Um, there's a lot
There-
of there's talk about it, but it's like there's not really like a no one was blown away. I think is what you could say. So, and
Well,
then
if
the
your
very next
only
day,
case
the
is
next yeah
against Donald Trump, like she didn't really say anything about what she's gonna do. Like what can she say? What can she actually say?
yeah
Honestly. Like, sorry, I lost a
that's
100,000 kids. I'm gonna go find them. Like, what can she
yeah
say?
yeah.
What can she say?
If their challenge for the convention was like, how do we pull off this thing where we're in charge now, things are really shitty, but we're going to make things better. But how do we also make people forget that we're in charge now and things are really shitty? As we tell them that we're going to make things better, how do we get them to forget that we're in charge?
And Democrats
And
have
they
been
didn't,
there
and
all but
I
four
think
years for like so
yeah,
long. Like, this is your shit,
I think
motherfuckers.
people maybe people are waiting to see maybe the betting markets and like just again just not you and me, but like the betting markets, like maybe they saw like no, this person is not capable of I don't know, overcoming whatever negative feelings people have about her.
Yeah.
Um, or
I
yeah,
don't think, I think a lot of people had no feelings about her. Like me, I was like, whatever the borders are stuff was a joke. Like,
yeah.
I've just always thought, okay, well, whatever. I thought it was a joke back when everybody was like, oh, we love her so much. Oh, black this and that. Oh, black woman.
Yeah,
Like,
the
it
challenge for
should be
them
more than
really,
that. It should be more than that. You're the vice president. It should be more than that. It should be more than that.
yeah, for sure. I mean, I think the challenge is like, yeah, for them, if you're going into it, like, how are they going to pull this off where they convince us they're going to make things better, but make us forget that they're in charge now? And after the convention, I think people realize they can't. There's
Yeah.
really,
There's nothing
there's
she could
no
do.
like, there's no Obama style orator,
All
like
they care about is abortions and
speaker that's
Trump. Like,
gonna,
it's
yeah,
literally abortions and Trump. Like, you can still kill as many babies a day as you need to kill. Like, it's happening. Like, you can go anywhere and do it. No one's blocking. Like, I saw a post today where the girl was like, what are some safe states for reproductive rights? Because we just need to get out of the state that we're in because I don't feel safe for
yeah.
my girls. Like, her girls are little kids like your kids. Like, you're literally what? You don't feel safe for your child's reproductive. I have a child that's in the community, the alphabet community. I don't feel like she's unsafe. Like, maybe she does, I don't know, but I feel like,
What do they talk about with the abortion rights? It's like they feel like their daughters are gonna, like go off to college and get knocked up,
and not,
like it's like and not be able to take pills on a regular basis or not be able to afford a $40 or whatever the pill is at CVS the next morning or
they
just be
sell it.
really
Yes,
stupid. Are
it's
they just like
crazy. If you're a
I'm not gonna
young,
teach?
sexually active girl and you don't have like a morning after pills, like boy should be carrying condoms or a girl should be carrying condoms. But if say that fails, you should have a couple of those in your nightstand. I mean, you know what I mean? If I had a daughter that was going through that stage of her life, I would be like, do you have some of those around? Like, make sure you can
Yeah, I mean,
pop one of those in your friend's coffee in the morning or whatever.
yeah, it's just there's so many ways to avoid, you know,
There's so many ways to avoid it.
having one at 15 or 20 weeks. It's very, yeah, just I used to say like there's two things that are really easy not to get: AIDS and pregnant.
And
Real
monkeypox,
easy.
probably.
Yeah. Well,
Pox.
yeah. Well, some kids in San Francisco would disagree, but you know, they're not unscathed. But yeah, like
Oh,
there's just like real easy not to get pregnant and not to get AIDS. Like real
yeah.
easy. Real
Yeah.
easy. Maybe not if maybe you live in Nigeria and you're like getting, attacked by like some other tribe or something, maybe, but
Right.
in America and in the, modern times, really easy to avoid these two things. We know
Yeah.
what causes these things. We know
I've always said
like
that.
So we,
pregnancies, you know exactly what causes it. Like there's
yeah, that's what I was doing. I was like, people, I'm like, one day I hope we realize we figure out what causes pregnancy, so
yeah.
we can
And then they're
avoid all
like,
these.
well, what if she was raped? And it's like, okay, I wish you were that upset about the untested rape kits of the ones that were already raped. Let's talk about the ones that
Yeah,
were already raped. Can we talk about their untested rape kits and the men that haven't been brought to justice for those rape kits? But no, we're talking about if they get raped, can we kill their baby? A fucking course you can. Like, what are we even talking about? What are we even
yeah.
talking about? It's like it's so weird. Like, why is this talk about weird? Why is this even a conversation?
I don't know.
In modern
I
times,
really
like,
wish I would feel a lot better about our country if every 4 years, like there wasn't a rather large section of our country, uh, demographic, certain demographic that's just like, we gotta have these abortions. We gotta, it's the number one issue to me. This is the number one issue. Like, uh, there should be a lot more
women's
like,
reproductive rights. What
okay,
about women's health care, motherfuckers? Like, have you ever been a sick woman in this country? Fuck our reproductive rights. What about our health care?
well,
Like,
the whole like,
doctors treat
yeah.
us like absolute shit. Like, that's what people should care about.
Well, it's like when
Oh,
like the whole reproductive rights. It's like, why are we talking about abortion and using the term reproductive rights?
yeah.
I
No.
mean, that's like that's
Isn't that a good point? Like we should care about women's health care at least as much as we care about women's reproductive rights.
yeah. I hope you're air quoting reproductive rights. That's like some commie talk right there, because they're not talking about reproducing at all. You know what I
Mm-mm.
mean? It's like that's some real upside down commie,
It's
black is white talk.
gaslighting.
Yeah, yeah. Just be honest about it. Just
Uh,
it's just not we're not real honest
they
about
were
that. And
honest
like,
about it. They wheeled up mobile abortion clinics
oh
to the
yeah,
DNC.
yeah.
They were very honest about it.
Well, I
They're
mean, they're not
very
honest
honest
about
about it.
like what most abortions are, which are like kind of just birth control. They're not rape, they're not miscarriages and all that stuff. It's basically like,
And they're mostly in
you
black and
know,
brown communities. Let's be honest about
someone was
that
a little bit,
too. Let's be honest
someone was
about the babies
either,
that they're killing.
oh yeah, that's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. The majority are
Massively
black and brown.
disproportional black. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know about the majority, but it's incredibly disproportionate to the population makeup.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
neighborhoods that they are in are,
It's
it's
a heavy
targeted.
subject.
It
It's
is.
a heavy subject. I wish,
Sure.
yeah, I would feel much better about our society if every 4 years I wasn't reminded that just
Yeah.
everybody's just pretending like we don't know how these things happen. And
Pretending like Planned
it's
Parenthood
like,
doesn't sell body parts and tissue. Yes. It's all weird. Everyone likes to pretend. And
or
yet
it's
they
just,
want it in your face. Like, we just want to do it. Like, it's like, okay, you can
yeah,
go,
yeah,
go.
it's,
Because we are in America, you are free to do that. Like that's one of the parts of it. We get it.
well, so in Texas, they made abortion pretty much illegal, almost entirely illegal a couple of years ago. Like it's been some time, right? And we're well past the stage where there should have been a lot of women dying in like
Right.
alleys, like like basement abortions and alleyways, but that's not happening either.
Right.
Um,
The
so
numbers are probably up for
in
abortions.
in Texas, I think that um, there's like a big, like probably a lot of Plan B being sold,
Hmm.
and there's a lot of people not like wrapping it up. There's a lot of dudes wrapping it up,
Yeah.
and a lot of women that are not forgetting their pill and being like, I think that what's happened in Texas since they passed some pretty strict laws, um, that people just made better decisions and were more careful. That's what seems to be happening in Texas because I I mean, there's probably some stats about Texas women leaving the state to go to like an abortion state where you can get an abortion, whatever. But
California will pay for you to
I
come.
I know, but I think that like I personally think that women are very intelligent, capable, smart people, creatures, humans,
Yeah,
whatever you want to call them.
for sure.
And they're just like, yes, I could go to California, and yes, they would pay for that, but I should probably just take the pill, and I should probably just be more selective in my,
Yeah,
sexual mates and partners, and I should probably make the guy wear a condom also.
yeah,
And then I should probably, like set aside 30, $40, $50, whatever it is now, like to go to
yeah.
CVS and get a Plan B pill the next
Well,
morning
that's
if
the
I'm
other
gonna
thing.
if I'm
You
gonna
can ride
have that
away to
activity.
California. We'll send them to you for free.
And well, so I think that women don't are not like they're not stupid, so they're not gonna get
Yeah,
knocked up and to be like, okay, California, come save me. They're gonna just make
yeah,
everyday smart, rational decisions to not have
for
to go to
sure.
California. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's what's happening. I think, and because I don't know, like, so I'm genuinely very curious about that, like what's happened, because there hasn't been a bunch of women dying in the streets and dying and like like,
Right.
dropped off in emergency room parking
Sure.
lots and stuff. That's just not all
With
like the
coat
horror story,
hangers hanging out of their bodies.
all the horror stories haven't happened.
Yeah,
I don't think there's a cottage industry of Texas women leaving the state to go to
sure.
California. It seems to me that all of the fucking sudden, as soon as this law passed 2 years ago, that 99% of people just made a lot better decisions.
Yeah,
Because we're also not seeing like a massive spike in birth rates either.
right. Sure.
So there's not also the cases of, yeah,
Since
you're not seeing a bunch of like teenage girls who are raped by family members like being forced to have children either. So
I've
it's like
seen some
people are just
numbers
making better decisions. That's it.
that abortions are up since the states have been like on a whole.
Overall, yeah,
Oh, on a
overall, yeah.
whole, it's
Mhm.
up. So I mean,
Mhm. Yeah, California, New York, making up for like Texas. Yeah.
it's all
I
fine.
don't know what Texas, I don't know what Texas contributed to the total number in the first place. So maybe when you say Texas is down, it's like they
Yeah,
weren't really contributing to the big numbers.
sure. Probably not.
Um, I have to
Seems like
believe
different.
that, um, um, just sorry, we've got in the last 3.5 years of Biden Harris, we have somewhere, I think the official number is something like 8 to 11 million illegals here,
Oh,
right? But those are the
yeah.
ones that we've actually allowed in and done fake asylum bullshit for
Right.
and released. So on top of the known illegals, whatever you want to call them, um, there's maybe 5, 10 million more. So those people are getting knocked up and maybe not all having
Oh,
babies and getting
gotcha.
abortions. And I'm sure that,
That could explain the up numbers. Well, I mean,
I
that
mean,
could,
if you're a Planned Parenthood clinic in California, in LA,
yeah. Yeah.
and you got a bunch of illegals coming in and your business is booming,
Yeah, for sure.
wh-
Oh,
what's the problem? No, they see no problems there. It's all that's sounds
bro.
great because because they're legal doesn't mean they don't need reproductive right care, reproductive rights.
Ah,
So it's like you have a ton of like, just no offense, but like you got like 10, 15, 20 million brand new, young,
voters. I mean,
poor people,
patients,
birthing
patients and
people.
voters, and yeah,
So they're probably adding to those numbers as well.
yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, I don't, but
Yeah.
so yeah, just in Texas, I think it's that's what's happened. Like people have just like are smart. They know how pregnancies happen. They all of a
Well,
sudden
that's a
people just get a lot less
consequence.
careless.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
like people are just like a lot less careless. That's all.
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
Isn't that
And
something?
that's, I swear that's what I thought would happen. Like, you know what I mean? Because I
Yeah.
don't because unlike like all the pro-choice people, I don't think that women are just like reckless, careless, stupid people. Like I think that they're just like everyone else. It's like you kind of operate in the rules you have.
Sure.
And if the system allows people to be careless
Yeah.
in whatever, then it's like, yeah, what's the big
Well,
deal?
especially if you're in a state where it's become illegal, like that's obviously a topic of conversation that kids are having and or people are having in general. So, if you're doing like you know what causes this problem. So if you're doing something that causes this problem, you're going to be more cautious about how you
Yeah,
would be able to fix that problem. So you're going to want to do it immediately. You're going to want to buy the Plan B pills. You're going to, it's not going to be something that
it
you're ever going to let. I don't even know how it is even a thing anymore. I know for my kid, like I feel like he's probably bought $100,000 in Plan B pills over the years. You know what I mean? What are you
yeah,
doing? I don't know.
get them at Costco.
I I remember when I used to follow his location, like, you see him at Rayleigh's in the pharmacy a lot of mornings. It's like, what are you doing, son? What are you doing?
Uh, well, anyway, just what it brought, what the strict laws in Texas, all of a sudden, like people were all of a sudden they regained a sense of logic
Right. Yeah.
in terms of like, if I do this,
Yeah.
this could happen,
Yeah.
and I'll have a kid.
Yeah.
If I do this and then just take another little step afterwards, you know, the next morning, or just remember to take that pill or wrap it up,
Yeah.
then I will not have a kid. And that's
Yeah.
like, and it's like, oh, that's real black and white logic there. Real black
Yeah.
and white logic.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, whereas before that, everybody was just like, I'm kind of tired.
Right.
So,
They call it the morning after. They should have one called immediately after. So there's no, like, so you have it on you, like it's in your purse, like you
oh,
brought it with you.
you know what it is, and this is kind of graphic, and we can move on. But it's like, like I don't know, but like back in the day when you were a kid or a teenager, and you were, like it was like you if you pulled out, you thought you were good,
Sure.
which is like one
Rhythm
million
method.
percent wrong. We're just
Yeah.
not is incorrect, incorrect, incorrect. You know,
Yeah.
but it's like when the rules are loose, it's just like I can be real gray and shady with that logic and that and just those facts, like the fact that
Yeah.
you can be like, oh, I pulled out, we're good, right? Yeah, we're good, yeah, and it's fine. It's like,
Yeah,
but it's
but if
like
you if you re-educate people,
when you're faced with like real strict rules, it's just like you realize like, yeah, no, that's not pulling out is
yeah.
not worth like that's not because
Yeah.
everybody knows, like, that everybody knows this. Like, I don't care. I
Sure.
mean, everybody knows, like, that's not, you know,
Yeah.
there's sperm before that and all that. But I guess when the rules are loose, you can just kind of let yourself believe that you're good,
Right. I just think
But
it's bullshit. Remember when Adam said that he had somebody on and that she wasn't interested in the morning after pill at all? It was like some congresswoman. And I mean, if you really did like remarket that to something that like girls just like you got a 5 pack of them and you threw them in your purse. Like if you wanted to go do whatever you're gonna do,
I
like
think
jelly
that,
beans, like pills aren't expensive,
well, then
obviously.
now we get into that's kind of that's cheap. Like,
Exactly.
no, we need like, there's too much money in Planned Parenthood. There's too much money in birth control pills. Like that,
Hmm.
it's like a monthly subscription where,
Right.
like
Yeah.
whoever's making those is getting a
So
couple
we
hundred
don't want
bucks.
to solve the problem. Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
then that's America's problem now. It's like, yeah, we try to solve a problem. We're just like, oh, there's a lot of
Yeah.
people that have a there's a lot of people that have a
Oh,
vested
their
interest in this
purses
problem.
are open. Yeah. Oh, it's so interesting.
And not just people, but systems
Yes.
that that
Entire
are kind of
systems.
based on this,
Mhm.
whatever you want to call it. So it's, yeah, I mean, I am kind of, I got a lot of ideas about things that should be torn down, but it's like you got to be careful. Like, you can't really tear down all these things at one time,
Yeah.
because then it's like all of a sudden every hospital just shuts down. It's like
Well, I mean, the Rockefellers did that to uh the natural medicine market. I mean, the not Chinese medicine, herb medicine, natural medicine existed for centuries and all of time
Yeah,
and
but like,
millennia. And then the Rockefellers came in and like we have to get rid of these plastics and we have to like and they kill
yeah,
like they make it so it's not even a thing. Like you can't even talk about it. I tell people about stuff that I take that's all natural that has actually healed my body and it's like like wow, like I don't know, just there's all
I was
kinds of
thinking it could
natural things
be,
that are good for you that people just laugh off.
but it's like everything is based on it. So just something as simple as, let's say Trump wins and he names RFK Jr. as like the head of the FDA,
Right.
and he drastically changes like the vaccine schedule for
Ugh,
school age kids, right?
amazing.
It would be, but at the same time,
Big Pharma would be
you like,
pissed.
well, Big Pharma would be pissed, but they'd be okay. But like, how many pediatricians' offices would probably have to shut down? Because there's like if you're a pediatrician, yeah, you deal with like kids when they get sick, but like a big part of your business is every summer and fall when the kids have to come in and get those shots. Like that's kind of guaranteed business, and that guaranteed business allows you to take out a loan and build a and start your own pediatrician clinic
It's
with
even worse than that.
with two or three of your other doctors.
If you get X amount of your practice to have taken the schedule, the vaccine company
Sure.
kicks you back hundreds of thousands of dollars.
So that's what
So
I'm saying is like
ridiculous.
it would just be people all of a sudden, like you got to be
Good.
careful what you wish for, because all of a sudden there'd be like a shortage of pediatricians because they
Well,
like
if
they wouldn't,
also
they'd
if
all
you
be
have
closed,
less
you know.
vaccines, maybe less sick kids,
And they'd be like, well, there's a
causation,
that's
right?
true. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, in the short term, it would be quite the upheaval though, because then when your kid gets sick, you'd be waiting for a long time because there's not dozens and dozens of pediatricians' offices all around you, you
Right.
know, that have guaranteed business every, all the time from the like
Yeah.
school vaccine schedule and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, but I mean,
Not that they make a killing off of it, but they probably,
oh, that's it's
they're
the
not
bread and
administering.
butter. It's what you call the bread and butter of any family practice. Vaccines are
Okay, yeah.
because
Or
the man. So I
yeah,
was sick for a very long
it's
time, but like
consistent revenue.
drug
Consistent revenue.
companies come into doctor's office every single day. They drop off their pens, they drop off their samples, they drop off their this and that. Like they get kickbacks and incentives if they're like, oh, well, you need Wellbutrin. This is if they give so many scripts for Wellbutrin, then they get a kickback
Oh
from
yeah.
the
Well,
company. Like that's where a lot of their money's made.
yeah, I'm saying that like the school vaccine part is not where they make a killing, but it is
Right.
where they have like guaranteed
Yeah,
consistent customers every year,
for
and
sure.
then they really make the killing on the Wellbutrin and the
Yeah.
inhalers and all the specialty stuff. And I'm
Ridiculous.
not to say that, some kids
Disgusting.
need that, but
Yeah.
like you got to be like think about like if you tried to like if you really changed like if you got rid of all like the vaccines that kids don't really need anymore,
Hmm.
like it would
And
have
then
a massive
asthma went away.
effect on our economy. It would have a massive effect on our economy. Like hospitals that are getting built, like in the area I live in, they're just building like new hospitals all the time. And I do wonder, like, where's all this money coming from? Just like, well, sick people,
Sickness.
sick people. But it's like it kind of but it's it's kind of somewhat of a benefit that I'm surrounded by like top rate state of the art hospitals.
Just in case you
Like,
fall ill, is that, I mean, is that,
I
yeah,
mean,
right.
kind of like, it's like, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Like, there's a reason, I mean, like people in rural areas, you hear that, like they talk like they have a problem with healthcare because it's very far away, you know.
Right.
So it kind of feels good to have that, but yeah, you'd have to realize like a lot of these hospitals probably wouldn't be built if there wasn't this system in place.
Sure.
But maybe they shouldn't be built. Maybe, and we wouldn't. And if the system wasn't in place, we wouldn't need all these hospitals and like all these specialty doctors' offices. Like I noticed that around this North Texas area because it's booming. It's
Yeah.
very, I guess you could say affluent because everybody's just on the rise.
Sure.
and it's booming and house prices are up. But I have noticed that all the new shopping centers and strip malls, like half of them are like
Dialysis.
dialysis, low T center, fucking, like hair thing. Like just like I'm just like everybody's doing great, but apparently they're all falling apart too.
Yeah,
You
it's
know what I mean?
wild.
Like it's like everybody's like the house is bigger, it's nicer, it's worth more. Everybody's driving a nicer car, but all these motherfuckers are falling apart.
Yeah,
Like
sick.
because if they weren't, there wouldn't be, like half the shopping center wouldn't be like specialty medical clinics.
Yeah, it's sad. It's
That's
so
yeah.
sad. It makes me so sad because if you have 9,000 problems and then you fall ill, then you just have one problem, like you're ill. Like people don't understand what
Good
it's like
point.
to be sick. Like they don't understand it. I was a normal person. Like I was active. I was a travel soccer mom. I ran a fireworks booth with I think I had 10,000 pounds of fucking fireworks in the back of a U-Haul that I unloaded and loaded every day for the whole season, mostly by myself. Like I was normal. And then I was sick. For 4 years, I was literally sick.
Hmm.
And there was nothing, I would have done anything. And that I'm just saying, like these doctors, they're not for you. It's just, it's so sad, but people won't listen. They won't hear it. Like, it's a business. It's all a business.
I get it though. I get why people could get sucked into it. I'm very lucky. I've never really had any health
Yeah.
problems. I've had some injuries and whatnot, but never really. I'm not
Yeah.
hooked on anything. I don't need to go to the doctor. I don't need medications or anything
You
like
kill it
that.
with
So
Coors Light.
that's right. Yeah, back on Miller Lite.
Okay.
I was on Natty Light there for a while, but
Yeah, they're all
the
related.
I can't really relate, but I can kind of relate to like yeah, it's very stressful. Like it's gotta
Yeah. Yeah, it takes
um,
a toll on your whole life. And I think that people aren't realizing that there's some things that you can do to kind of like they want us sick. So that's why the food and the water and all the things are happening. They want you sick. That's why they're building hospitals because they're predicting you're gonna fucking be sick,
yeah.
right? Like that's why the hospitals are
Well,
going.
yeah, I don't know what the chicken or the egg came first there or what. It could just be people noticing the patterns like, hey man, all these Americans, they really like tasty, rich food. You know what I mean?
They
Like
love sunflower oil.
like like if you're a doctor and you're just like, what line of work should I go into? And you're like walking around wondering like what line of work, what field of medicine should I go at? And then but at that same time, you're the doctor and you're walking by a cheesecake factory,
Yeah,
and everybody's like
tropical
consuming
medicine.
7,000 calories in a meal. You're just like, I think I know what the best practice would be to get into. It's like
Yeah.
diabetes.
The
Yeah, I think that's
worst.
what I need to specialize in.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Big money. Ugh, disgusting.
So
Yeah,
yeah, so
well,
I'm not saying they're planning it. It's just like people notice the
I'm saying
patterns that
that.
like, yeah, well, like I guess like they could get yeah, it becomes a system, I guess, where yeah, like the big hospital chains are just like, yeah, Monsanto, go off on those school lunches and make them, whatever
Well, it's
kind of
not much.
question. They're like,
Like I said it on a post today. Like, great, Monsanto business can conduct themselves however they want legally within the structure of our government. So if our government says, "Hey, motherfucker, you can't poison our people," they would have to rail it back a little bit. Like,
yeah,
if the government is going to protect us, hey, yeah, make as many vaccines as you want, but also don't put so much fucking lead in it that it kills a child or it turns off their goddamn brain. Like, maybe don't do that either. Like the government put some
yeah,
safety precautions around and not about making money or not about, I mean, unless they're just trying to kill us. And I
yeah.
mean, that makes sense too.
Well,
I'm not
we started
convinced that
talking
that's
about it.
not the
Like,
case.
I hope that RFK Jr. does talk about this stuff a lot.
He
Um,
does.
gets a
He
chance
does.
gets a chance to talk about it more, maybe even
Me
part of the
too.
Trump administration, just
My
to raise
goodness.
awareness. I'm not a huge like anti-vax guy, and
Sure.
I can kind of appreciate the fact that some of these big global corporations in some ways have made food cheaper and more reliable and more consistent, and
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
we shouldn't really as humans like I don't know that humans should necessarily take that for granted because one of the reasons that I mean they're doing it to make money, but they're also doing it because like there's a human I think human instinct, either
Right.
individually or collectively to like we got to make food consistent and reliable, people, like or else a
Yeah.
bunch of us are going to die.
Well, that's the
So
thing.
like
See,
leaving it
that's the
up to like
thing.
individual farmers and all this stuff and like that's one thing, but it's like um and yeah, I'm not gonna
I,
be a
I,
big cheer, but it's like maybe some of these big companies that make food production kind of shitty, but also they make calories very reliable and predictable. Like maybe they're like a giant safety net for humanity as well.
yeah. See, this is the thing though. Remember how a couple of weeks ago when Kamala was made the person and everybody was like, I feel hope for the first time in my life. I jokingly thought today I'm going to say, I feel hope for the first time in my life. But then I typed it out and then I put at the bottom, just kidding. Like, I know the government's not coming to save me in any capacity. So, like, women used to can food. They used to be at home and they would can their tomatoes. They would grow them, they would can them, they would have food. Like shelf stable food was the goal. You could make cheese shelf stable. You can make eggs shelf stable. Like we used to know these things, but the government, people aren't passing
Yeah.
down those things anymore to their children,
Well,
which is why
that's
TikTok during the pandemic became dangerous because they are teaching people how to can their food. They are teaching people how to do these things. And that's why, I think that people should look into that. You're growing your own food. The next step is canning it. The next step is turning it into stuff that you can use, you know, just in case,
mhm.
right?
Yeah, yeah. I think so. I was gonna say like so in America, we've completely lost that in the last 50 years, right? But
Yeah.
like the crazy thing to think about is like outside of America, I mean, outside of the
Yeah.
Western world, uh, they haven't.
Yeah.
They've been plugging along, like growing their own, canning their own foods, like making their own
Yeah.
foods, making their own damn cheese, like in the backyard. They've been doing this
Right.
shit forever. Like
Butter.
they never really gave it up.
Yeah. The Amish.
So I just think, yeah, well, yeah, I guess there's a few in America that haven't given it up, but but like in other countries, they're just like they haven't really lost that.
Yeah.
And it's like you wonder, like when the world turns but that becomes an advantage for them and it becomes a huge disadvantage for us. I mean, if there's a world famine, like we're going to be the ones that start first.
Sure. For
Well, I don't know.
sure.
Maybe I don't know. We could probably go rob them.
Yeah. Sure. Well, we all probably
We
have
could
like
probably
at
go
least.
steal all their food first. Nah, yeah, take that back. They would definitely start first. We just steal all their stuff.
Oh.
We got like
Oh.
helicopters and airplanes. We just take all their food. But um, I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Just kind of a different thought about that, which is yeah, these food companies they get huge, they get super aggressive, they want to be globally, dominant, but they also want to produce a ton of food at a consistent price at a in a very predictable way that's easily distributable to everybody.
Right.
And it's like, that's kind of that's a very human thing to want to do. So
Even that low priced food, like affordable food or food that has preservatives in it, haven't you noticed that it tastes different? Like Blue Box mac and cheese doesn't taste the same. Velveeta mac and cheese doesn't taste the same. Like those things that,
we haven't
you
noticed a
know,
difference in Kraft macaroni and cheese.
you
I
haven't?
got no, and I got
Okay.
7-year-old daughters, and
Mhm.
one of them is an aficionado.
Okay.
And you try to give her some store brand mac and cheese. You try to give her
Yeah.
a different, like the shells and cheese. You try to give her anything different, like the Kraft mac and cheese with extra protein. It just doesn't. She's just like, no, it doesn't. But we haven't really missed anything on that. But
Okay. Well,
But you're in California.
I'm
You
talking
probably
about
get like
maybe from when my
California.
kids were little to now as your kids are
Yeah,
little,
yeah.
because there's a 20-year gap in that.
I did go a long time
That
without eating
blue
boxed
box
mac and cheese. Yeah.
is so different. It's so different.
I'll tell you though, it still tastes really good.
Oh, I'm sure it does. I'm sure it
Because when
does.
we made this happened this week because we made like a different mac and cheese for my son because it's like a protein mac and cheese.
Okay.
Uh, my daughter that knows her mac and cheese, knows her Kraft mac and cheese was just she said, "Are you going to make the sweet mac and cheese again?" That's the blue box, the Kraft macaroni and cheese. She
Yeah.
she called that the sweet mac and cheese
Like sweet, like
because it's
that.
sweet because it's
Okay.
kind of got it's got a
Oh,
sweet flavor, like it's sweet
okay.
cheese.
Okay.
It's like
Nice.
yeah, there's definitely some sugar in there.
My kids used to say that I made it the best because I add the like way too much butter and then like a little bit of milk, just like tiny bit of milk to it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Laura wings it with that.
Yeah.
I make it if I make Kraft macaroni cheese, I use exactly a half a stick of butter and exactly a quarter cup of milk.
See, if
I
you
don't
go
wing it at
more
all,
butter
but
and like bring in the smallness of the milk, it makes it creamier. But yeah.
well, okay.
Yeah,
I
I
just
miss
trust the
that.
box.
Yeah, it's good stuff. And I could eat a whole box by myself for sure. Shells and cheese too, with the Velveeta,
Yeah,
the one that squirts out. Yeah, I can eat that by myself. But I don't. I don't even buy it. But yeah, when my kids were little, I had that shit in the house all the time.
that's tough. Yeah, it's tough. That's what they got. I thought you were going to say something like when they got us with inflation, and a lot of people's first defense against inflation was you go to the store bought or
Yeah.
the store brand, right? Or you
Well, a lot
go
of the times it is the same. I know your daughter's an aficionado and craft blue box. I agree with her. Like it
or you
has
go
a,
from like yeah, you just go to like the store brand that maybe does cut little bit more corners.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
yeah, I think that's kind of
But then
what
that makes you
happened.
sicker. Like it's like a whole thing. No one's protecting us, which back to the RFK thing, like I don't know that he will, but I do know that he has been suing the big guys to try and make effective change for moms for a long time. And I know that that matters. And so if it even just gives a voice to those moms that, they
If
have
he can
noticed
if he can just
and
shut the fuck
dads.
up, if he can shut the fuck up about guns and
I've
SUVs
never heard
and
him say
gas
a thing
mileage,
about
then
guns or
oh no,
SUVs.
oh no, he's yeah,
I
he's
think you're
complete
making that
yeah,
up. You might have been
mm-mm,
propagandized against him.
mm-mm. He was that guy. He was like a when the Democrats were normal, like
Yeah,
we would consider normal, 20 years
mhm,
ago.
right.
He was way out there to the left,
Yeah. Okay.
like wanting like no more SUVs, right?
Yeah.
Everybody drives a
I,
Prius,
yeah.
except for him, of course. Except for him, the whole time, he would have whatever guns he wants. His entourage would drive SUVs and he would fly private,
Uh, he has like the
but
oldest
everyone
minivan you've ever
else,
seen in your life that he
yeah, I'm
drives
sure he does.
around.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, that's what I would do too if I was him. I would own a real shit box, right? But my entourage would lease, like, seven brand new Chevy
Uh,
Tahoes
yeah. Yeah.
everywhere I go. You
His
know what I mean? But
entourage.
hey, but I own a 1978, Dodge pickup truck because I'm just salt of the earth.
Yeah.
However, when I
Yeah.
travel, uh,
It's by
it,
yacht.
yeah, yeah,
All right.
I don't trust him, but
Well, you know
I
what?
think I
You know
think
what?
he could be used for good.
Let's see. Let's just give it a couple weeks. Let's see what he has to say. Let's see
Oh, I think
where.
it. Oh, I think if Trump sees the RFK Jr. really upsetting the libs, I mean, he's going to be like, I'm going to promote this guy.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
might replace I might replace JD Vance. Like if he's upsetting them this badly, he's gonna.
well, vaccine injury is it's a conspiracy theory. They think he's so crazy. Oh, they're the people like that for crying out loud group that I'm in, those people. are gonna be like, oh, of course those two are together because he's fucking crazy and he's fucking
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, yeah. They instantly will turn them both into they're both batshit loons. Yes, yes. I used to watch his show religiously, and yes, yes, I used to love. Like, yes, I have like 80. I've read 75 RF like Kennedy books about the Kennedy lore and the
Oh, I
family and
love Jackie
Camelot.
O.
But yeah, they're both crazy now. Like, yeah, read all the books. Yeah, like huge
Yeah,
Camelot fan, know all
yeah,
about it.
yeah,
Loved his dad,
yeah.
cries every year on the anniversary, but all of a sudden now they get chucked in the trash.
Yeah, imagine if they make him the attorney general like his father was. Like, oh, what are they gonna say? What are they
No,
gonna say?
like people like have those thoughts and like will just like do these mental gymnastics for Kamala.
Yeah,
Good Lord.
bro.
I can get why you did it for Obama.
I'm gonna have to start speaking up as
Like,
a woman of color. I feel like I'm gonna have to start speaking up as a woman of color.
oh, you're going to be labeled whitey so fast.
I
They'd be like, but you got to
gotta get
shut
my
your white
lighting
ass
fixed
up.
out.
Yeah. They're going to be like, what? No,
Yeah, I'm about ready
Kamala's
to make
black
I'm
and you're
about
white.
ready to make a woman of color post. I'm like 2 days away from it. I swear to God, Obama had me so mad. I was
You
so
should do it. And I'll just copy and paste it. Just be like, I identify as the same.
like, how dare you tell me? You motherfucker. Oh, with your private jets and your privilege, your white privilege. Fucking Michelle Obama. Oh, they make me so mad.
Oh yeah, I don't even get started on that.
Yeah, it's 9 o'clock. We gotta wind it down.
Yeah,
It's Friday, Craig.
it is Friday. Thank God it's Friday. I got no plans tomorrow. I'm going to smoke a pork butt tomorrow. Yeah,
Nice.
I'm going to smoke. I do have plans. As a matter of fact, I do.
All right.
Very
You gonna get
important to
it
smoke
going
a pork butt.
tonight? Is
No,
it
I'll
gonna
do it
be
in the
like a
morning.
okay,
I
eight
don't do that
hours?
overnight stuff. I don't
Okay.
have the people that do all like I put this thing in at 8 p.m. and I cooked it for 14. They have like these electronic pellet smokers,
Yeah.
right? Where it's
Okay.
essentially like an oven with a
Okay.
fucking Bluetooth app.
Pussies.
But like I have a stick burner, as they call it,
Yeah.
that burns real wood. So it's like you got to tend to this shit. I'm not about to
Okay.
stay up all night and like set an alarm for every 2 hours to like stoke a fire.
Yeah. Once you pass
No,
out, it's over for at least 4.
yes, yes. I'll wake up tomorrow morning and get it all started, get it done.
Okay. Well, pictures or it didn't happen. Let's see it. Oh, how's
Yeah,
the
I got to take
puppy?
pictures. Oh, she's good.
Oh, that's
She
good.
started to get privileges a little bit more out of her kennel. They fight
Nice.
nonstop. She's a little she's a little nasty one.
Oh, good. Got a
She's
little
some yeah,
heart to
no, I
her,
know. I
huh?
love it. I love it. Yeah, she's some little nasty tendencies, little chip on her shoulder.
Okay.
So it's good. Yeah, I think she's gonna fit in just perfect.
Yeah, because the original one, needed someone to snap her into shape, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Yeah, she
good.
stopped digging holes finally. Stopped digging holes in my
He's
gardens.
exhausted. Tended to the
But
baby all
now, and
day.
she's so happy, she's like so happy to have like a little puppy to like chase her and like, yeah,
Yeah. That's so
it's fun.
cute.
It's how it is. It's fun to watch.
It is. It is. It is. It is. All right. Well, Ilo
Anyway,
got locked up because he barked at me,
yeah.
so I got to go check on him.
Cheers, everybody. Do what you want. Get it on. Manny, Robbie, hope you guys are having a good time tonight.
Yeah. We held it
Everybody
down.
else, thanks for listening. We
Happy
did. We did all
Friday.
right.
Yeah.
All right. Happy Friday, everybody. Get it on. Do what you want. Cheers.